What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here with another Motown's wrestling review. And this wrestling review, we are going to be talking about AEW Dynamite. Amazingly enough, I'm actually going to discuss Dynamite. But, but, because it's a night of miracles. It's a miracle I'm talking about AEW. And it's a miracle that the Indiana Pacers won in New York. Not that they can't beat the Knicks, because in my opinion, they are the better team. It just, the Knicks had that game won. And true to form, a game one choke for the New York Knicks. Now, before my mom throw it out there, and before anybody else say, because I live in Indianapolis, these are not my Pacers. These are not my Pacers. But I don't like the Knicks. But we keep in mind, my name is Tony Motown Allen. My name is not Tony Indy Allen. Motown Allen. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan through and through, and as you can see, and also love my Bulls. So Pacers, you're not top two. You're not. You're not even top three, to be honest with you. I mean, I got the Golden State Warriors. I claim them more than you guys. So, but hey, hometown team though, doing their thing. They're looking really good and everything though. So hey, I hope they do make it to the finals though. Definitely wanted to give them a shout out for this miracle in New York. Oh, that shit was funny as hell. Now, before I get into tonight's Dynamite review, last week they were in Chicago. So I didn't watch last Wednesday and I didn't watch last Saturday. I didn't catch it till like the last couple of days or so, but I did kind of catch up on AEW leading into today, just so I have an idea what's going on. I didn't want to touch on a couple of things. Last week in Chicago, Ricochet took on Zach Gowen. And the cool thing with that is the fact that if y'all don't know who Zach Gowen is, Google him. The man's been wrestling for well over 20 years. He's a one-legged wrestler. Like, the man legit wrestles with one leg. That's why I want to call this out. Had a pretty decent match with Ricochet. But you got to keep in mind, before you criticize or anything like that, he wrestles with one leg and does it well. You talk about a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. Well, guess what? This one-legged man might actually whoop your ass in an ass-kicking contest. So, Zach Gowen, hats off to you. Happy that you're still doing it. Happy that you're doing it and doing it and doing it well. So, but Ricochet did get the win last week, but definitely good showing for him. Last week, the Hurt Business all gave the unanimous thumbs up for MJF joining the Hurt Business, even though it looked like Bobby Lashley wasn't going to do it. And it looked like Shelton Benzo was ready to take his ass out if MJF wasn't in it. But they teased him not doing it, but he actually did it. And then they also had Jon Moxley versus Samoa Joe in a steel cage last week, which the Death Riders came out. All hell broke loose. Everybody ended up coming out and fighting in that match, and that led to them booking Anarchy in the arena for Double or Nothing, which, as you can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not a fan. I know I know that a lot of AEW fans love that match. I particularly don't. I could care less for it. So that really did nothing for me, though. But it's kind of cool they did announce it in Chicago. And then also in Chicago, they had Collision, which I'm like, okay, they're going to do a tribute to Steve Mongo and Michael on Collision. It's in Chicago. Let me check this shit out. They kick off with Megan Bayne with Penelope Ford and her at ringside against Anna Jay with Harley Cameron in ringside. I mean, Jesus Christ, you have so many fine women in this match. My God. I will put it on them like this. And the match is really good, too. Anna Jay is a pretty decent wrestler, and Megan Bayne is the truth. Like, she is probably top 3 women wrestlers in AEW right now, and she's still learning, she's still improving and everything though. But Megan Bayne, the bright future ahead of her though. So really enjoyed this match, and then the rest of the show just kind of fell off for me. Like, it was just a bunch of shit that I really gave no fucks about. Until we got to the tribute to Steve Malcolm McMichael. His wife was there. Dean Malenko was there. They were talking about Mongo and everything, and him battling the disease for so many years. And then out comes the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! Honestly, Ric Flair, a very close friend of Steve Mongo McMichael. He went to visit him a few times before he passed and everything too. So it was definitely good to see them. And then after the tribute, they went to commercial with 30 minutes left on the show. So we thought. During commercial, The Rock's movie decides like he's going to start right in the middle of Collision. And I only got 3 words to say. Thank you, Rock. Because that show was horrible. I didn't really need to waste 30 more minutes on this shit. Not that I wasted my time on your bullshit movie. Now we ain't gonna get started on that shit. But thank you, Rock, for ending Collision early for me. Because, man, that was painful. It was really painful. But now that brings us to AEW Dynamite, the go-home show 4 days before Double or Nothing. The show kicks off with what is my moment of the night. It kicked off with a promo with Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay. Bruh. Sometimes Will Ospreay kind of drive me crazy on promos, but this one was good. This one was good. He got rid of security. He's like, we don't need security here. No, we ain't gonna like throw down. We're gonna wait for 4 days. We're not doing it now. So they got rid of security. Hey, I promise you guys still get paid. Grabbed a couple of beers for them and everything, and then they just start talking, and the shit was real. Like, I mean, I like promos. I like promos where you could feel the emotion, you could feel the real. I mean, it felt real. It felt authentic and everything. Probably both guys' best promo and everything. Will Ospreay said he wants their match for the Owen Hart Cup to be the main event at Double or Nothing. And before this promo, I would have thought this motherfucker lost his mind. Like, main event, the pay-per-view with Hangman Adam Page? Yeah, right. Shit, sign me up for this shit. For the main event. I am mostly invested into this match right now because of this promo. I really, really thought that both guys did a solid job. It ended with both of them chugging their beers, and then away we go. Solid. Moment of the night. Absolutely loved it. Went like 20 minutes. Now, I'm not hating, but there's so many AEW fans that hate on WWE when they kick off a show with a 20-minute promo. I'm going to need y'all to keep that same energy. I don't want to hear none of y'all talk about how great AEW is for doing that when you turn around and you've been bashing WWE for doing the same thing. You either keep the same energy with AEW or you drop that shit with WWE. Real talk. Because bitching about WWE starting shows off with long ass promos and then giving your company a pass ain't cool at all. If you're gonna give your company a pass, give them a pass. That's all I'm saying. This was done phenomenally though. Next, after that phenomenal promo, we have what I consider to be the match of the night. It's a 6-man, and honestly, when I heard who was in this match, I would have never thought this would be the match of the night. Jon Moxley and the Young Bitches. The Young Bucks. Even though, for those of you who say I'll call women bitches too much, them two bitches are bitches too. But Jon Moxley and the Young Bitches, Bucks, versus Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve's on a roll. Swerve's on a roll. This was a really, really good match, and it kind of surprised me because you got a 6-man tag match with Jon Moxley teaming with the Young Bucks, where they don't normally team together. You got Swerve teaming with Powerhouse Hobbs and Joe, who don't normally team together. Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs haven't been together, but all these guys work well as a team. They had good chemistry amongst each other and everything. A lot of good spots in this match. Of course, the Young Bucks are in it, so you're gonna have some spots. But I really enjoyed this match a lot. Swerve gets the pin over one of the Bucks. I gave this match an A. Gave it an A. Excellent. Then the Death Riders came out, attacked Swerve Strickland and Joe and Hobbs. And then out come Willow to attack Marina Shafir. Kenny Omega comes out. My first lady's boo. And everybody just fighting. And then once everything is dust settled and everything, Joe grabbed the mic and said, like, hey, this ain't over. Before the night is over, we're going to get you. So that's how that segment ended. I really, really enjoyed this, though. I thought it was really good. Next up was the Hurt Syndicate. Get ready to sign the new contract for MJF. And the backstage segment of it was kind of had a weird vibe to it and everything. It's like you just felt like something was going to go wrong. Didn't know quite what it was, who was gonna screw who, but you just kind of felt like somebody was about to get screwed tonight. But everybody signed a contract. No, MJF signed first. The rest of the guys signed. Bobby Lashley signed. Was the last one to sign. I'm sorry, Bobby Lashley. Bob was the last one to sign, but Bob finally did sign. So MJF, her syndicate officially. Then out comes Dustin Rhodes, the natural with Sammy Guevara. They got the tag team match against the Hurt Syndicate coming up in 4 days and everything. And Dustin was talking about how like him and Sammy are day oneers. They've been there since day one. They were there 6 years ago at the first Double or Nothing, which was a phenomenal show. I absolutely loved Double or Nothing 6 years ago. Me and my buddy Gary, we split the pay-per-view and watched it at my house back in Chicago. Enjoyed it from beginning to end, though. So, man, I need AEW to get back to what it was then. But yeah, Dustin did a lot of talking, and I'll be honest with you, did nothing for me. Like I don't see Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara winning this match. But hey, and I'm going to do my predictions once we finish the review, so we'll save that for then. But it's kind of weird because Dustin's sitting up there talking about how MVP can't trust MJF. How MJF has done a lot of horrible things. He's a snake in the grass and all this stuff. But Dustin's sitting there with Sammy Guevara. I mean, you don't have a fucking altar boy as your tag team partner yourself now. Motherfuckers that live in glass houses don't mean throwing stones. You know what I'm saying? But the other interesting thing with this, in my opinion, was the fact that Sammy Guevara didn't get a word in at all. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but Sammy Guevara used to team up a lot with Chris Jericho. And when he was with Jericho, the one thing he always talked about towards the end was how Jericho was all about himself, hogging the spotlight, and this and that. Well, Sammy, one thing I gotta let you know. At least Chris Jericho lets you talk. You were probably doing a hell of a lot better with Ty Saibu than sitting there with your mouth shut, looking like a fucking dope with Dustin Rhodes. Yeah, this ain't a Coors review. This is definitely going to be a tequila. But the segment ended and everything, and they moved on, and then we're right now moving to our second match of the night. And before I review the second match of the night, I just want to point out to all the AEW fans that hate on WWE, an hour and 15 minutes into the show, we get to a second match. I like the flow of the show. Everything's been going pretty good, whether I loved it or whatever, though. But if you're going to bitch about the lack of wrestling in WWE, you need to criticize your own company as well, because they're doing it too. If you're not going to criticize your company, AEW, for the lack of wrestling on the show, I don't want to hear none of y'all bitching when WWE does it. That's real talk. Keep that same energy for both companies. This match, though, Anthony Bowens with Billy Gunn. Why can't they call him Daddy Ass? He's Daddy Ass. Versus Ricochet, Prince Puma. And we need them to start scissoring again. We need our scissor me daddy. Oh, scissor me daddy. But guess who did get scissored? Anthony Bowens, because Prince Puma, Ricochet, hit that motherfucker with the scissors, hit him with his move. 1, 2, 3, scissored over. Next, we have Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter out there discussing their match because they're wrestling for the Women's Owen Hart Cup. I don't like Mercedes Moné. I really don't. She was if she was 25% as good as she thinks she is, she'd be a phenomenal wrestler. Without a doubt. Jamie Hayter, man, it just sucks that she had so many injuries at the wrong time and everything. It just felt like the sky was the limit for her and everything, though. But as far as this promo go, I mean, it was okay. No, Mercedes Moné called herself the Beyonce of women's wrestling. More like the Temu Beyonce, if you ask me. Jamie Hayter brought up how she looked a little lighter. Not quite, got a little different look to her. Like, don't look the same. Like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you lost your New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's title. Pissed off Mercedes. She ended up attacking Jamie Hayter. And then they broke that shit up. And then out comes Timeless Toni Storm to watch the main event of tonight's Dynamite. Before I go into the main event, it's just Mercedes Moné. I was really happy with the thought of her being at AEW when they first signed her, but it's just not going well. It's just not going well at all. I think she's getting exposed big time. There's women in that company that could cut a better promo. There's women in the company that could out wrestle her, but she must be sucking Tony Khan's dick. Tony Khan must be putting it on her like does. Because she gets the push. She gets everything and just getting tired of it. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this when I do my predictions. But Mercedes. Now Jamie, though. Jamie could get it. Jamie could definitely get it. I will put it on Jamie Hayter like does. And y'all can all hate her on that if you want. And speaking of does. Oh my God, the main event. Mina Shirakawa. If y'all don't know who she is, if y'all not familiar, y'all sleeping on her. Y'all better Google her. Y'all better check her out because not only is she fine as fuck, but the girl could legit go in the ring. One of the best wrestlers in the company right now. Women's wrestler. And she's taking on Julia Hart. This is the third and final match of the night. So, again, AEW fans, you criticize WWE for a lack of wrestling. 3 matches in a 2-hour show. Flowed for me. I have no problems with it. I just have a problem with the AEW fans that criticize WWE for doing stuff that AEW does as well and giving AEW a pass for one reason or another. Stop giving AEW a pass or stop criticizing WWE. That's all I got to say about it. This match was okay. This match also had my tap out of the show. And the tap out of the show was Julia Hart's performance in this match. I mean, she just looked sloppy out there. One time I thought she legit hurt herself. But she tried to pull a Tajiri, put the tarantula on Mina, which looks sad. I mean, it's supposed to be a tarantula and it looked like a fucking house spider. And I was a big fan of Julia Hart. I just thought that she was the next one and everything. I mean, Julia's interest came out. It looked like she still thinks that she's part of House of Black. I don't think she got the memo that Aleister Black is back in WWE. Julia's just my tap out in this, though. But Mina Shirakawa? Fucking star. Fucking star. I said earlier, Megan Bayne is probably the top 3 wrestlers in the company right now. Number 1, Toni Storm. Number 2, Mina Shirakawa. Number 3, Megan Bayne. And that shit could change over the next year or so as far as the order of that, though. But Mina looked like a star. Her stuff looked crisp. She was running this match. Excellent performance out of Mina Shirakawa. I really enjoyed her in this match. And Mina was taking them hips during the match. Man, them hips don't lie at all. That's for goddamn sure. She got the roll-up pin, 1, 2, 3, won the match over her, which I was very happy that she got the win. But then after the match, Julia Hart, playing the sore loser, attacks Mina Shirakawa. Out comes my Sky Blue from Chicago. Oh my God. Talk about dush. I would dush all over her ass. But next to see Sky Blue came out there. She's still looking out for her friend. And then Toni Storm came out to make the save when they were double teaming Mina. I wouldn't mind triple teaming Mina. That's for goddamn sure. Tony make the save, got rid of them too, and then Mina attacks Toni Storm and grabbed her to the ring post, slept the figure four on the ring post like she's Bret Hart. So definitely, honestly, I was happy with everything that happened in that other than Julia Hart's performance. Then as the show go off the air, the Young Bucks cut a promo off talking about how Samoa Joe said that like they were going to get them by the end of the night, but they never did. It's the end of the night, so obviously Samoa Joe is a liar. And then of course Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs attack the young bitches. And then everybody show up. They fighting backstage. They're fighting to the arena. They're fighting to the ring. It's just like a big cluster fuck the sus anarchy in the arena bullshit. That's how they end the fucking show. I know a lot of people's going to like that. I just personally not a fan. But now we're going to get into the predictions for Double or Nothing, okay? So, running a little long here, so I'm going to try to make this quick. Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné for the Women's Owen Hart Cup. I am pulling for Jamie Hayter. I am rooting for Jamie Hayter. I'm solidly behind Jamie Hayter, but I just got a feeling that Mercedes Moné is going to win. So, Mercedes Moné is my pick. The Hurt Syndicate versus Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes for the Tag Team Championship. Easy pick. That's going to be the Hurt Syndicate, of course. Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. You just heard me talk about, these are the top two wrestlers in AEW right now. Going at it. This got the potential to be the match of the night, in my opinion. But I'm going with Toni Storm slightly on this one. I think Toni Storm is going to get the win. And that's going to lead to Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. I just think that's the bigger match for AEW. Especially if they're going to go with Mercedes Moné. If they go with Jamie Hayter, I wouldn't mind Mina Shirakawa winning and get that match up though. But I don't see them going in that direction. They're going to be fighting at All In, Outlaw, whatever the fuck it is. So I think they're looking at Toni Storm versus Mercedes. FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. FTR better not lose. Better not lose. That's all I got to say. You're the best tag team in the world. You don't need to be losing to Nigel and Daniel Garcia, two guys that don't even team with each other. Nigel haven't wrestled in forever. FTR need to beat the brakes off of them. All gas, no brakes. Know what I mean? Oh, sorry. Wrong show. Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet in a stretcher match. There is no way Prince Puma should lose this match either. Come on, Mark fucking Briscoe. Ricochet need to dog walk his ass too. And put him on that stretcher, send him on his way. Next, Anarchy in the arena match. Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, the Ops, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs with Shibata versus the Death Riders, John Moxley, Cardio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, and Willow Yuta, along with Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the young bitches. I really don't give a fuck about this match at all. But I do see the Death Riders winning. I see John Moxley, being on the winning team, leading into the next pay-per-view, keeping him looking strong with his belt and his briefcase. Fuck you, Mox. Fuck you guys. Fuck all y'all. Only thing I want to see is Swerve on a roll. Swerve on a roll. Then we got Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey. And I really don't give a fuck about this match either, but I'm going to take Okada. Then we got the main event. Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay. I got a feeling it's going to be the second best match of the night or potential contender for match of the night. But I got Will Ospreay winning this though. And I think there's going to be a banger of a match. I think they're going to show up and show out. I'm really looking forward to this match and everything. Even though Hangman is in it, this could be Hangman's best match, but he definitely don't need to win. This is definitely Ospreay's match. We need to see Ospreay in the main event against John Moxley at the next pay-per-view. Book it.